Greetings and welcome to another video by Sir Mike the Hedge Knight. Robb's War, Part 2. If you haven't seen Part 1, hop over there and check that out because we are going to hop right in. Just want to talk very briefly about a couple characters. I mentioned them in my Stark video, but I do want to talk about them because one of them we won't see in action. Um, but again, if I would feel remiss if I did a two-part Robb's War video and didn't mention Jon Snow, King in the North, because I think this character is just knocks it out of the park in this event. And again, on my wish list, wish I had a little bit more. And just going to skim through the skills for those who don't know. But he basically gets 5 hits, and there's a chance that all of them can apply ice. One is 100%. The other 4 hits are for random enemies with a 75% chance to inflict ice, and that's a non-upgraded skill. So I'm sure when you get them at higher stars and upgrade the skill a bit, I would have to assume that ice percent is going to go up. So for an event where you're trying to stack ice and bleed, yeah, putting on 4 or 5 ice seems like it would be pretty good. Additionally, whenever enemies are afflicted with ice, he gains 5% stamina. So he's putting on ice. You've got other ice dealers, other countdown gems. You're putting on ice. It's going to fill his stamina bar, even though he has such a slow, the slowest stamina speed in the game at very slow. It's going to fill up a lot faster than normal because there's just an abundance of ice. And the other two characters I want to talk about real quick, which again I have covered them in other videos, but Robb and Talisa, they are event only summons, and this is the event. So not only as you're cutting through the difficulty levels and accumulating tokens, the event tokens, you'll be getting some shards of Robb and Talisa, but they're also the rewards. I'm not going to get too much into all of their abilities. If you'd like to see the full breakdown of what they do and why they're good, check out my Stark video. It's their passive. So anytime an enemy uses their skill, Robb and Talisa, they have the same base passive. Once they get to 4-star, it sort of separates a little. They do a couple different things, but this is what's important. They will put ice on the enemy that uses skill. So if you've got them both in there, which I did for a little bit, if you've got them both in there, then enemy uses their skill, bang, bang, they're hit with 2 ice. So, just something to consider. If you don't normally use Robb and Talisa, based on what star level you have them at and where you feel comfortable putting them in, I use them both to start Treacherous. I think once I got Julie in and I had to take someone out, I took Robb out and I left Talisa in. So we're going to hop into a combat. You'll see that on hard, and this is actually my record high. So probably not going to be able to improve on this score, but we will try. So if you're going for ranking, how do you fight? How do you fight for ranking? You're in second and you're down 5,000 points, or you're in first and you're up 13,000 points, and you're like, I don't know, this is looking a little tight. So the first thing obviously is you kind of go through and you'll look for an outlier. So like here's one, chapter 9. Oh, look, wow. All these other scores around it are so much higher. So your first instinct is, yep, this is the one. I'm going to play this over and over until I do better. But before you jump in, take a look at how many enemies there are. And this chapter has just 7 enemies. That's a lot less opportunities to put ice and bleed on. So, maybe not the best candidate. In fact, the one that I really just knocked it out of the park. I can't believe the audio didn't work. I think I had 106 and I bumped it to 124 was this one. Now we're not going to replay it because I won't do better, but there are 11 enemies here. And that's why I focused on this. I said 106 isn't bad, but wait, there's 11 enemies? And each of them could have 5 ice and 3 bleed? I could do better than 106. That's how you want to find the chapter. Also keep in mind, chapter 3 is where you fight Julie. Not a lot of enemies, and Julie is immune to ice. So a lot tougher to get points in chapter 3. So we're not going to do that. Oh boy, I just may not. So you know what we're going to do? We're just going to go right to the end. We're going to go right to the end. Not generally because it's got Karstark at the end, so there are 8 enemies, but he's a little bit beefy. Let's jump right in. I wanted to get a combat in at hard. I want to get a combat in at treacherous. I am not sure if I'm going to put one in. I think I probably won't in this video in Kingslayer, and then if I'm feeling frisky tomorrow, perhaps I'll make a part 3 and I'll put a couple, skipping all character info and just saying, let's just get into combat and putting in a couple videos there. Okay, so whew, bad news right from the get-go. I can match the purple countdown gem, but it's in, of course, an empty lane that will not hit anyone. No good. I can't match the yellow in the middle at this point. Actually, I can, but I can't get to the green, but I can get the yellow with a cascade. So let's do that. And we're not going to worry about the purple. Oh, the purple, that solved itself. We have a new countdown gem, which is in a good lane, but there's no purple there. So that's a bit of a problem. That's a bit of a problem. And we hit the archer in the middle, gave her some bleed, but if we can't get back over there, and we have no skills because combat just started, then we're not going to be able to sustain that bleed. Let's see if we can get some purple in here. Sometimes I'll do that, just trying to clear some space. Hey, get me a purple in the bottom two area. Now it's in the third, just hoping to match one. So I can kind of tell you right off the bat, I am not going to increase my score here. It's just not going to happen. We could get lucky when I match this yellow on the right. Maybe a purple will shoot up right under it. Nope. So we have not caught a single break, and I don't really have much reason to believe that we're going to. This is not going to be a good video. Let's see what's going on with the archer here. She's got ice. She has one bleed, so actually that's going to kill. She's going to kill herself, I think. If I do bones, I feel like he's going to just wipe the field. All right, this guy stayed alive, so that's okay. I have no countdown gems on this side of the board. Yeah, not looking good. Not looking good. One enemy at a time, always bad because we've got I have 3 members of my team that do AoE, area of effect damage. So if you're doing area of effect, you want 3 enemies on the board, which is what, we did start with 3. We did start with 3, and boy, this has gone from bad to worse in a hurry. Not matching any countdown gems, not applying ice, not applying bleed. Bad, bad, bad. All right, let's use, the archer's going to probably kill him. Let's use Jory first because Jory does less damage and trigger Julie, so Julie puts some bleed on. And we'll do the archer, or do we save the archer to start the next round? Boy, it's so bad. It doesn't matter. You know what? Let's try to save it. Let's try. Oh, this is good. We can get 2 bleeds on him with 1 match. So if the bleed went on just before he died, I guess that helps a little. I'm not sure. Got Lord Karstark back there. Let's go with Julie. Let's get some ice on. And now here's the thing. If you can do a horizontal match or a vertical match, remember, the new countdown gems that come on the board can only come, the new countdown gems will only be on, they won't be on existing gems. They'll only be on new gems. So if you could do a horizontal or a vertical match, like I can in the lower right with this yellow, do a vertical match. Because the only gems coming in, at least they'll be in the same lane. And I want to build up my bleed, my ice, my bleed on the same character. So I don't want gems all over the place hitting, because by the time, if I hit someone on the right with bleed, with a countdown gem, then you hit someone on the left, by the time I get back to the guy on the right, the bleed, it might be gone. It might have expired. So let's do a vertical match here. Okay, good. And it gave us one. In fact, we can clear a whole bunch of gems. That actually might be too many. We don't really want to kill 4 and 2. Now that one we cannot match. So I think we're just going to use Julie at this point and take him out. So now let's do some more vertical matches. Let's try to get a gem here. Okay, we did, but unfortunately, not going to be able to do it. Not going to be able to match it at this point. Using the flare. So we got some pretty good status effects here. Oh boy, I'm not liking this too much. Not liking this too much. Wow, Jory's gone. Jory. Well, this is the final fight of this level. Now, how much time do we have on this bleed? We've got 2 turns to kill them, and that might not be enough. And I want to match this blue, but we don't have anyone in that lane anyway. So you know what? We're going to let that blue go. We're going to bring this red up top with the plan to, I'm not going to use bones yet. He might kill him. I'm going to use this to get another ice on him. He used his skill, so he basically took himself out. We're going to use the flare on Karstark. We're going to use bones on everyone. That blue gem on the right we can't get to. That's okay. Let's get some ice up on Carstar. We got Julie ready. So once we're satisfied that we've got enough status effects, he's at 4 and 5. Let's see if Julie can kill him. I don't know if she will. No. He's a little bit strong. But we do have a little bit of time on the bleed while the archer's gone. Very surprised. This has really been as poor a result as I could imagine for this video. So apologies for that. I am kind of curious where we wind up. We are going to get maximum status on this last guy. Now all we have to do is find a way to kill him before the rest of my team somehow dies, which I'm still not really sure why that's happening. Okay, let's see where we wound up. We only had like 105. Yeah, not had a good finish. We had a pretty good finish where we got some status effects on people, but you'll see HP remaining. That matters. If you can get 10,000 points for having a fully healthy team at the end of combat, and you have a couple dead people and 2 other characters near death, 3,100. I lost 6,900 points there. So our ice and bleed for this particular battle, it started poor. It ended pretty good. It did take a few turns, and we lost a lot of points on hit points remaining. So that's where we're at on hard. And again, apologies for the video that wasn't. It was a real good example. I had a couple of bad breaks and then some really good breaks, and everything just worked out, and I wound up with a really good score. I wish the audio had worked. So let's see if the audio worked on this one, and then we will move on to Treacherous. So let's see if we can find something in Treacherous. Now, I am currently in first. I will say there's a lot of what I've noticed over the last month or so. There's a lot of when you're in a tough group or a bad group, there's a lot of really sneaky players in there, and so they'll leave off the last couple of chapters. They'll play through like chapter 14, and they'll just wait until Sunday night, and then all of a sudden they play the last 2 chapters. And so these guys, you say, "Boy, I got a big cushion here. Okay, I'm in a pretty weak group. They're not fight." All of a sudden they put on a 250,000 points like it's nothing, because they have 0-0 for chapters 15 and 16. They just didn't do them yet. So they're sneaky. I don't really play those games. I want to play through. I want to get my score. I want to have time to go back and improve where I can. And if someone sort of sandbags me at the end and go, ha ha ha, I got 1,000,009, you'll never beat me. It's like, oh, okay, good for you. You're my hero, and life goes on. So that's just not what I do. But anyway, I know a month ago I got 1,795,000 in Treacherous. I've got essentially the same team. Nothing's really changed. So I know that while I do have a respectable score here, I know that there is room for improvement. So let's see if I can find a scenario that we think we can add some points to. Chapter 11, let's take a look. I mean, it's got Jamie at the end who's a little beefy, so he's a little bit tough, but you can ice and bleed him. So there's 9 enemies here. I was at what, 108? So let's give it. It can't be worse than the last fight that I made my viewers endure. So let's see if we can do a little better here. There are some roster changes. So sticking with Bones, sticking with the Archer. Here's good old Ned. I've only got my Ned at 3, but got him in there with his leadership ability to start people with ice. Didn't have room for both Robb and Talisa, which I mentioned at the start of the video, but let me throw Talisa in there. So let's go in. Let's see what we can do. Let's hope that we have better luck. Well, right off the bat, no. So there's 2 countdown gems. There's 1 red, which is like one of the only reds on the board. There's green next to a green, but there's not a lot of green here either. So it just seems like the gem gods don't want me to be happy today. I don't even have a vertical match here where I can clear a bunch to try to get some greens up there. So there's a little cascade here. Let's just see if we can get anything going on. This actually might not be terrible. We're going to do a blue match here. Okay, now I can't get that green on the right. I can get this red, but I can. Thing is, the bomb might really kill someone. But we're going to use the bomb. We're going to do 2 gems at once because we're already behind the 8 ball, and hopefully we don't kill anyone. Looks like we didn't kill anyone. Lost that gem. We've got a purple countdown gem. There's only 1 purple next to it, but this is really just not looking good. We don't have any skills yet. I kind of want to free up some space here, but this might kill him. Yeah, yellow's a strong color for us. Really rough start. Really rough start. Let's see if we can make it better. So these characters are pretty healthy. I'm going to use the Archer. Now you saw a bleed go on. That's because Julie's passive triggered. That's very good for us. Let's go ahead and use Bones. I don't think he's going to kill that brittle enemy. Oh yeah, he. Oh wow, he killed. He killed them both. I really expected that I'd be able to use Talisa after the fact and perhaps trigger Julie. So that didn't work. We're going to heal the archer. Let's see if Julie triggers. She did on the enemy over there. Okay, good. And this purple that earlier we were not able to get, now we can, and it's in a lane that'll hit the blue enemy on the left. So that's good. Now the problem is we have to be able to find a way to sustain that bleed, and that might be easier said than done. So we're going to knock this one out, that red. But really what we need is something in the lanes on the left. Let's see, let's do a vertical match. Nothing new came in. And the bleed has all, you can see the bleed on the blue on the left, it's already expired. And it's a problem. It's a problem. It's when you don't get gems in the right spot, if you don't get a steady flow of gems or you don't have a bunch of skills ready that can trigger Julie, this is going to happen. So we do have some bleed on the middle. So let's do a purple match that'll cascade this yellow gem before it explodes. Got a little cascade we didn't really need. So what do we do now? Now, Ned, being a Stark, I kind of want to use his skill not to kill anyone because maybe it triggers Julie. Checking the guy on the left, yeah, no bleed here, a little weaker. Guy on the right, let's use Ned on him. I don't think it's going to kill him. Ned doesn't hit super hard. And you saw a little, well, it almost did, and you saw a graphic on the left. And that means, now let's take a look at that guy on the left. Had 2 ice and no bleed, now 3 ice, 1 bleed, triggered Julie. And that was really what I was hoping to accomplish. Let's target this guy here with the Seeker. We're going to match this red. We're going to do a vertical. We're not going to use Julie yet. Got him at 3 and 3. And he is gone. Now, I won't make the same mistake I did last time. We're going to use Talisa's heal now to see if it triggers Julie, and it did. So we got to 5 and 2 on the left. Now, we've got a gem there that we can use, but I think I'm going to save that because it's only going to get 1 bleed. I'm going to use Julie to wipe out this enemy. And this enemy on the right, I think this yellow match, like we don't have a lot of status on him, but it is what it is. Like sometimes you don't get the gems, you don't have the skills ready at the right time. Like I said, my characters are a little strong here. Usually not super strong, but I guess because Jamie is so powerful that some of these other enemies are a little weaker. Maybe that's why my score was so poor. We're going to open with Bones. All right, got ice on everyone. Nothing wrong with that. And as for bleed, now we're going to put this bleed on Jamie. Oh boy, no new countdown gems came up. That's kind of unfortunate because we want to keep the pressure on. Now I can put some bleed on the person on the left, but while we're doing that, there's a possibility, Jamie's on his countdown timer. His bleed has just 1 more turn, so the bleed we put on is going to disappear. So this is tough. This takes it takes some practice, it takes some getting used to, understanding the strategies, and it takes a little bit of luck. Unless you've got a very solid roster, it's going to take a little bit of luck. Let's hit the archer. Now ice is just going to stack up, which is great. It looks like some bleed went to the person all the way on the right. Yep, looks like Julie triggered on the archer. The archer is a Stark. We're going to use Ned. Do we really want to kill any of them yet? Nah, not at least until they have 5 ice, even if they don't have the bleed. Let's just use Ned just to do some damage on Jamie, because it's going to take a while to take Jamie down. Definitely going to take a while to take Jamie down. So let's match these gems. Now the yellow gem on the left was in an empty lane, didn't hit anyone. Again, c'est la vie. It is what it is. Julie takes a lot of damage. She takes more damage from those countdown gems when they explode. I guess we've had a couple of those. And at this point, I think I'm going to do this arrow into the eye. I'm just going to clear a bunch of gems. Let's get some stamina. Let's see what happens here. Let's go with Bones. Probably kills the person, killed them both. Hopefully they definitely had a bunch of ice. Not sure if we had much bleed on them. Again, unfortunate. And we've got this red countdown gem here and no red that we can do anything with. Okay, good. That was a good break. You now have a red match. He had 1 bleed. The bleed is now gone. Ned is the weakest. We're going to use Talisa to heal Ned. Trigger Julie. There's 1 bleed. We've got a blue-red combo here. We got him up to 2 bleed. Now the issue is just going to be, can we kill him before this bleed runs out? We're going to try. He's at max. He's at 5 and 3. Can Julie kill him? And she did. Did we increase our score? 114.9. 114.9. Don't remember exactly. My short-term memory is not so good, but it says new record, so it's definitely an improvement. I think I had 1,731,000, now 1,737,000. There you go. Okay, one of the two videos was a mild success. I think you definitely have to have a little bit of luck on your side to get, if you start with a couple countdown gems that are near each other and easy to match on the same enemy, that's a really good start. So you want to get off to a fast start. And when you get off to a slow start, you feel like you're always playing catch up. So I hope I illustrated at least with this video more so than the last. The last one I gave it the old college try, and we got pretty close. If not for that HP remaining, if we saved a few thousand points there, and maybe did it in a couple turns less or one or two more status effects, we might have eked out a very small game. That's my philosophy. Comment below. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you are doing in Robb's War, and we will see you soon.